Welcome to this edition of the El Segundo City Council Recap. I'm your host, Egidio De Leo. Let's take a look at the items presented to the El Segundo City Council at their May 19, 2026 meeting. During special presentations, Council proclaimed June as LGBTQ+ Pride Month in El Segundo. The proclamation noted, "It is imperative that people in our community, regardless of sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression, feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by peers and community leaders." El Segundo resident Deanna Awesome accepted the proclamation. Council then commended John Ramey from Ramey Roofing for re-roofing the Library Park gazebo. He donated a brand new roof in honor of his father, Ivar Ramey, who installed the previous roof nearly 50 years ago. Council then recognized staff recipients of the 2026 OpenGov High Performance Government Award. Community Development Director Michael Allen explained that significant efficiencies were achieved by upgrading their technological tools. Humberto Rivera Jr., Administrative Analyst, received the award at the OpenGov conference, and several of the software users were recognized by Council. Council unanimously approved several items on the consent calendar, including a contract award to J&L Building Maintenance for city janitorial services, a notice of completion for the concrete improvement project, a resolution to adopt the 2026-2027 pavement rehabilitation project funded by Senate Bill 1, and a waiver to allow alcohol at Recreation Park for the Kiwanis Roller Skating Pop-Up fundraiser. Item 7, a contract award for the Phase 2 of City Hall HVAC improvements, passed 3-2, with Councilmember Boyles and Mayor Pimentel voting against due to concerns with investing in a building that may undergo a significant renovation in the future. Item 10, a construction contract award for improvements to the sports courts at Recreation Park, passed 4-1, with Mayor Pimentel voting against. Item 11, an amendment to the agreement with Granicus for software renewal, passed with a change to a 3-year term instead of 5, while retaining the savings provided in the 5-year contract. It was approved 3-2, with Councilmember Giroux and Boyles voting against. During staff presentations, Human Resources Director Rebecca Reddick brought a side letter agreement between the city and the El Segundo Police Support Services Employees Association updating longevity pay provision in the Memorandum of Understanding. This bargaining unit represents 12 current employees who are crime scene investigators and police assistants and service officers. The side letter clarifies that longevity pay is not tied to performance evaluation, and details of the eligibility of certain prior job-related law enforcement experience for longevity pay. Council voted unanimously to adopt the side letter agreement. Director Reddick then brought a memorandum of understanding between the City of El Segundo and the El Segundo Police Support Services Employees Association. This labor agreement is with the same bargaining unit as the previous agenda item and is a successor to one that expires in June. It cleans up language pertaining to longevity and holiday pay and includes restructured contributions to health benefits, expanded education reimbursements, 3% salary adjustments each fiscal year, and various equity adjustments. Council voted unanimously to adopt the Memorandum of Understanding. Director Reddick stayed at the dais to present a memorandum of understanding between the city and the El Segundo Supervisory and Professional Employees Association. The labor agreement clarified language pertaining to longevity pay, work schedules, leave payouts upon separation, vacation accrual, and the sick leave cap. New provisions included restructured contributions to health benefits, expanded educational reimbursements, a 3% salary adjustment each fiscal year, and various equity adjustments. Council voted unanimously to adopt the Memorandum of Understanding. Next, Public Works Director Elias Sassoon presented a construction contract for the renovation of the Teen Center, Plaza, and Skate Park at Recreation Park. Staff recommended awarding the construction contract to SS&K Construction and approving construction administration services with Moore, Isofano, Goldsman, or MIG Inc. for a total project construction cost of $5,644,891. Staff further recommended 2 project alternatives that would replace the current lighting infrastructure and modify the water tower feature in the skate park, reducing future maintenance expenses and increasing safety. Together, these alternatives would increase the total project cost by $170,000. Council voted unanimously to include the two project alternatives and to authorize the construction contract with SS&K and the professional service agreement with MIG Inc. The final staff presentation was the Measure C sales tax implementation presented by City Attorney Mark Hensley. In 2018, El Segundo voters approved Measure C, which authorized a 3/4 cent sales tax if the County of Los Angeles increased sales taxes, effectively keeping the tax revenue in the city instead of being collected by the county. The maximum permissible total sales tax in Los Angeles County is now 10.5%, and the City of El Segundo's tax rate is 9.75%. Los Angeles County has placed a half-cent sales tax on the June ballot under the Essential Services Restoration Act, or Measure ER, and is seeking legislation that would increase the sales tax cap by that half-cent to 11%. For the city, rather than the county, to benefit from the increase in sales tax, the city must act first to access the 0.75% under the tax cap that is currently available under state law. The implementation of the 0.75% Measure C tax could generate approximately $9 million in additional sales tax revenue for the city. The one-time fee for California Department of Tax and Fee Administration to implement the tax collection is $175,000, and the city must submit all required forms by July 13th. If the county measure fails or the state increases the cap to 11%, City Council could decide to suspend Measure C and leave the tax rate as it currently stands. Council voted unanimously to adopt resolutions and approve associated documents to pursue the implementation of Measure C, with the understanding that the decision would be revisited depending on the fates of the county's Measure ER and the attempt to increase the state sales tax cap. City Manager Daryl George provided an update on Hyperion's ongoing plant-wide efforts to address the mosquito issue and reported that Hyperion continues to monitor mosquito levels and address mosquito activity. For more information, please visit lawestvector.org or call 310-915-7370. City Manager George also reported that the South Coast Air Quality Management District received 21 odor complaints and issued no notices of violation for nuisance odors since the May 5th council meeting. Hyperion updates can be found on the city's website at elsegundo.gov/Hyperion. To watch the complete City Council meeting for May 19, 2026 and learn more about the agenda items covered, visit elsegundo.gov or watch the meeting on Channel 3. The next meeting will be Tuesday, June 2nd.